whistleblower, we still have people of conscience. So a little birdie just finished a conversation with me, and apparently Facebook is monitoring my posts and sharing my contact to law enforcement because somebody tipped them off because I hurt somebody's feelings, and they reported me to Facebook. And I said, it was kind of like when they told me, I wasn't surprised, only because I'm thinking, little old me, I'm no big influencer. I'm no freedom fighting influencer. I'm no threat to Justin Trudeau. I'm not no controlled opposition, where they elevate those that they want to have followers. They promote the pages that they want to have followers. Little old me, I get little views. How am I a threat? And the person said, you are a threat. And the little views you have is because of what they're showing you and what they're suppressing, but also because they are doing their best not to make your content be seen. However, they're sharing your information to law enforcement. And I said, that's kind of funny because I would see shares. I'll see one share or two shares or one share. And usually you'll have a notification as to who shares your comments. But I'll go in my notification and I can't find who's sharing. And I'll go in my settings to see activities and I can't see who's sharing, but it's showing that it's being shared. And I'm like, odd. So I'm like, okay. And now I'm putting the two and two together. So Facebook might want to change that because you're making me know that it's being shared, but I'm not seeing it. But now it makes sense. So my content is not going to change. I know I'm here for a purpose. And I know I've been told many years ago, build it and they will come. And I've not been one to intentionally blow up my page, and it's going to be organic. And I will be the little voice that nobody might have heard of. And in hindsight, people are going to be like, oh my God, why didn't we hear about her stuff before? And for you emotionally sensitive Canadians and Anglo-Saxons, and those who are pro-Zionist and those who are pro-genocide and those who believe that people that have a conscience, we are the threat. People who have critical thinking, we are the threat. But I could understand because in hindsight, people with conscience and people with critical thinking are a threat. They are a threat to the agenda. They are a threat to the system that is wanting the mass to not have soundness of mind, to not be in the image of their creator. Because the Most High said, I did not create you in the image of fear. So I was like, thank you for letting me know, but I'm not fearful. The amount of shit I've gone through, and many people would not even know. But I'm like, you obviously don't know who my father is. I'm not talking about my heavenly father. Well, he is in heaven right now, but I'm not talking about Yahawah. I'm talking about my earthly father who has passed. You guys don't know him. The things that he has been threatened, his life that he's been threatened, because when he was, again, in the little small island that you know, Jamaicans and Big Island, mostly Jamaicans always like to beat your chest down at. But a lot of our small island people, we are big in integrity. You're not going to get that small island, small integrity complex. Because as small as we is, as big as our integrity is. And my father is one of many who didn't sell out. And that is when the Chinese was coming into the Caribbean. This is umpteen years ago. I'm talking when I was like 10, 11, when they were just coming in. And my father was the head of the Port Authority. So he was the one that was seeing anything coming and going. And they're bribing everybody else and other people selling out, and my dad didn't. And they threatened my dad. They actually attacked my dad. I remember one day I was going to meet my dad at work from school, and a big crowd hanging around. And I was like, what's going on by the gate? Long story short, somebody attacked him from the back with a bottle, blood all over the place. And I was like, who did this to my father? And that is when the ignorant side of me grew. I was always fighting ignorant. People, you see me, those who've seen my rage, and that's the people very close to me, it's not something that you want to be around. So when I tell people you didn't win because you think you are better, it's because the Most High tell me to calm down. I'm like that David Banner Hulk. I can't even control my anger. And then there's 3 times in my life when I remembered I didn't control my anger and I blocked out. And people had to tell me what happened. And that's after ambulance and blood and thing all over the place. Because when you cross a line, especially when you attack my family, there's a flip that switch and I don't remember. And because it has happened and people tell me what I've done, it's like super strength, like some crazy stuff, the things I'll be leaping over and people just like, I was like, what? And I would hear about it after when people was just like, because when I come to, I'm huffing and puffing and I'm just like, what happened? And I black out. So the people that think, oh, I win she, or I big and bad and I better than she, you're not better than me, No matter how big your island is or how big you think you is. So I've been intentionally calmed because I know where I can go. So when I tell people, that is when it started, when my father was attacked and I was that little girl. And it's the first time I saw blood like that. And it was from my father. And I find out why. Oh my gosh. That is what set it off. From that time, trust me, you don't get 2 shots. You don't. Because I see, and it's his best friend too, So even from a young age, I know how people can stab you in the back. I always give people the benefit of the doubt, but trust and believe. I'm not naive or stupid. You're the one who's going to end up being the one who's stupid because you're going to realize you would never find a more honest and integral person like myself. And when the ones out there that are not my friends or my foes and you're a little tickled, is you're messing up because you're fighting and you're sending Facebook to have an issue with my content because I am making you severely uncomfortable with the truth. I didn't come into this world to be nobody's friend. From this as a little child, I knew that. And the way I move, everybody will tell you. I don't care to burn bridges. You see this mindset, don't burn a bridge, because you're never going to need it. No, whatever I need, Yah provides. And if a bridge need to be burned, it's burning so that nobody else can cross it and get hurt. That is me. That is me. And also that I don't feel pity and sorry and dare turn back and go back. You don't go back. When you see you vomit up something, you don't go back to your vomit. Leave it right there so. So I burn bridges for a symbolism that, listen, I don't need you. And what you think that you brought to the table, it wasn't that. And I'm going to burn the bridge to let you know I'm good. Everybody else might want to hold on to the bridges because they don't have faith in integrity. They don't have faith in their principles. They don't have faith ultimately in the Most High Yahawah. They don't. Because I have many examples in the Holy Scripture, not the 66th book of the Lion Bible that the Anglo-Saxons intentionally recrafted to keep my people down. I'm talking about the 87 that we know so far in the Sefer. Many stories that showed people of integrity burn bridges. Oh, yes. And the biggest one that burned a bridge was the Most High. The Most High burn bridges. If he wasn't, there'll be no heaven and hell. There'll be no good and bad. There'll be no definitive one side or the next. There'll just be a bridge that we can keep crossing over back and forth. No. So I move from the example. So for you who are upset and you're sending me to Facebook, and now Facebook is watching my content. Watch all you want. Because in your watching, you're actually being a witness that you saw and heard my content. So when judgment comes, you cannot say, I didn't know. Even the investigators that are investigating it, when you're listening to this, you are actually listening, being your own witness that you heard. And you allowed a paycheck to override your principles. I'm just doing my job is everybody's beautiful fallback answer. And then those who are willfully blind because of religion, man-made constructs in religion, where we're now seeing the truth unfold, you still have the audacity to think that I'm lying. You still have the audacity to say, oh, she's hating. No, I'm truthing. I'm the real truther. I'm the truther up here in the north. I am the real truther. So, thank you for the person who's inside and felt the conscience to give me the heads up. I appreciate it. And it makes sense why I'm seeing my stuff on my end saying it's share and I can't see who's sharing it. So I know now who's sharing it. But hey, it just confirms to me that little old small island girl like me, little old nobody to the side, is making people sit up straight and uncomfortable. And that's exactly the DNA of those who are chosen. They say, what good could come from Nazareth? That little, aren't you the carpenter's son, and all of these stories we've heard through all of their lying Sunday schools, right? But the truth does remain that Yahawah was a quote-unquote nobody. It's the ones that nobody expects, and that's why now they're looking for the ones nobody expects, because people in high places, they know that the overthrowing has come. So they as well have learned from their predecessor Pharaoh and their dictator lesson of them overlooking the small ones. So they're also learning from their playbook that, listen, don't dismiss the small ones, because it's the small ones that is the game changers. So it's all right. I do me, and you deceivers and hypocrites and emotionally triggered and willfully blind and upholders of lying doctrine and upholders of being confederate with stealing people's identities, upholders of finding out the truth behind all of these doctrines, you still are upset at the people that are speaking the truth. You be you, and I'm going to be me. You keep moving in your DNA bloodline, and I'm going to keep moving in my DNA bloodline. I know the bloodline and the tree you come from, and I know the bloodline and the tree I come from. We've already been here decades ago. Our peoples are already existing. You're the sellouts, and I'm the one who's resisting. You're the betrayers, and I'm the one who's standing on integrity. You're the compromised and corruptible, and I know where I come from. I'm the one that's going to stand on integrity day in and day out, 10 toes down. So we are from our bloodline. So in a way, you probably can't help it because it's in your bloodline. And even hearing this is going to piss you off even more. But it's up to you to get pissed off, or up to you to do the mirror work and say, whoa, you know what? I know the ending of my ancestors who were in that bloodline. Do I want that ending? Because you know my ending. Listen, my ending is my DNA, my bloodline. I know where my ending is. But your ending is already secured if you continue moving in your bloodline and your energy in that bloodline. But you can say, oh, poppycock, hogwash, this is all nonsense. That is exactly what your bloodline said too. I'm just saying, I'm going to be me, and you can continue to be you. I will invite you to strongly reconsider that position and start doing the mirror work, because you will end up just like your bloodline, and you would be part of the bloodline who will have that last stand in front of your creator. And at that time, you're going to wish that you did do a course correction from the destination of your bloodline. This is Lady O. Stay in action with faith and possibility. Walk in and protect your light. Your purpose will find you. Say what you mean and continue to live like you mean what you say.